Alright, hello guys, my name is Ben Brunton and we're back with another video, a recent pickups video. About time that I did one of these because it's been quite some time, admittedly. But, you know, damn it. Top-notch video quality making as usual on this channel, but there we are. I ain't exactly got a huge budget, unfortunately, but there we are. Yes, today we're back with my most popular series, mainly it's because it's probably the one I make the most consistent out of them all. And yeah, recent pickups, let's get into it. We got a lot to go through. We got singles, we got EPs, we got albums, live albums, and even cassettes. Yes, I've started collecting cassettes now. I made a video about this a long time ago if I was going to do it or not, and I am now doing it. So I'll start off with the CDs, mainly because, well, the CDs, this is going to be a really short thing. But, let's get to it then. So, first thing I want to showcase is just an EP. Co-play with Prospects March. This is for Viva La Vida, around the time that came out. 2008, 2009, around that time it would be. Comes with a little sheet and, an insert really. And some images of the band members. And a disc. I have not listened to this EP fully, if I'm being honest. I've only heard some songs here and there. But as Viva La Vida is perhaps my favourite album from them ever, I will have to listen to it soon. Alright, and speaking of Coldplay, we move on to 2012. Coldplay Live from 2012. This comes with a CD and also a DVD of the concert. This was during the Milo's Iloto tour. Underrated album from them in my opinion. Gets a lot of hate. I don't think it's too justified. Some fantastic instrumentation, like particularly synth leads. The synths work excellently on that album. This compilation mainly consists of like the main singles from them. There's a couple of like lesser known tracks like Major Minus, like Up in Flames, mainly songs from around that era. But you know, obviously you got the main singles, such as Yellow's on here, Paradise is on here, Viva La Vida, Fix You. Just think of like their most popular songs, and then like they're mostly gonna guarantee to be on this album. So yeah, that's the CDs done. We got a lot to get through anyway, so I want to get this done quick. Let's move on to the cassettes. Now I've started collecting cassettes like about a month ago now, but I got a cassette player about a week ago because it was my 15th birthday, and I have a few cassettes I need to showcase. So this is the first one I ever got, mainly because it was in HMV and I just thought, like, why not have it. It's Metallica's EP, the $5.98 EP, Garage Days Revisited. So this is a compilation of cover songs. One of them's, I think it's Motorhead, I believe they did one songs, and I believe they did a cover of one of the Misfits songs, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, just a normal cassette. I won't be going too into depth into some of these, but yeah, the EP's alright. It's not like the best thing they've ever done, but there we are. Oasis, Definitely Maybe, classic Britpop album. It's absolutely essential if you want to get into Britpop, in my opinion. Because, in my opinion, this is better than What's the Story More Than Glory. Because I think every single song on this album I think is fantastic in its own way. Quite a lengthy insert. It's got a few photos of like the band and stuff. And the other side as well, you got like more versions of the album cover and Noel Gallagher's large face. So that's a pleasant image we want to see. Now, you know, this is just a fantastic album all the way straight through. I don't really need to say much less because it's, you know, a big part in British music history. I'm sure you already know about it. Next one is an album which is technically not mine. I'm borrowing this off of a mate, but I feel like I should showcase this anyways. Movies Play, fantastic album. Perhaps one of the first albums I've ever heard in my life. It's a big part as to why I enjoy music as much as I do. Now I'm aware that Moby isn't necessarily the most respected musician out there, just because, well, his opinions. But if you put that aside, whatever your opinion may be of him, if you put that aside, I think this is some fantastic electronic music. Very interesting sampling as well. I gotta give it that. Another Britpop classic, Blur's Park Life. I got this very cheap. Got most of these actually very cheap. Apart from the Metallica one, that was like 10 quid. But Park Life is, well, just a fantastic Britpop album. Need I say any more? Tracy Jacks is my favourite song. If any of you may have been wondering at all. Well, Tracy Jacks, Bad Head, or Guns N' Boys. Just photo of the racetrack, which seems to be quite prominent in the album's art. Actually, I think it's a horse racing event. I'm not too sure, but there we are. Love it. Love the album. What can I say? Alright, let's put this away fast, because I don't want to be here forever, really. Alright, and the final cassette is a single from a band that I have recently been getting into. And it's sort of a Britpop band, but they don't really fit in too much into it. It's more or less their late 90s stuff. Beyond that kind of fits into the Britpop spectrum. And that is the band the Manic Preachers, and this is their single for Suicide is Painless, a cover of the theme song from MASH. This is actually technically a joint cassette with another group, the Fatima Mansions, with Everything I Do It For You, which is, I think, a cover of a Bryan Adams song, if I'm not mistaken, though I probably might be. It's on a grey cassette, so it's a little bit different. And, well, I haven't really listened to the Fatima Bottoms Mansions track, but, Suicide's Painless is a fantastic cover song. Really great vocals too, I must add that. It's a shame that we never got too much. Let me rephrase that. It's a this is from a very interesting period of time, because this is when they had Richie Edwards in the band. I will discuss a bit more about that later on, because, well, I got something else from them. But he's a true talent, and it's a shame what happened to him occurred. Alright, let's get on with the 10 inches and 7 inches. I got one 7-inch, and that is for The Cure's The Walk. Fantastic, great synth pop song, and it came out in 1983. It wasn't on any of their albums in particular, I believe. I haven't listened to all of their albums yet, so I might be mistaken, but it's a very interesting song. I wouldn't really expect them to do a song like this, but and then again, this is The Cure. They are known for for their diversity. They change genre like every album or single or whatever. Really, all of their albums have like a different identity to them, and that's part of the reason why I really like them. All right, got two 10 inches. First one I want to show is one I got today, and that's Sonic Youth with 100%. This is a limited edition version, numbered 345, a very low number, surprisingly. I got this for £5 too, so that might mean something. And Sonic Youth are a band that I haven't listened to fully, so I thought, well, why not pick this up? It might get me into them. I just haven't really had the time to listen to their catalogue just yet. But this is on Orange Vinyl. Very interesting. I'll have to listen to this later on, and if it appeals to me, then I'll have to check out the album in which the songs are on, which is Dirty, I think it's called. But yeah, I don't know too much from them. The only thing I really know is just the guy First and More. I know he's a part of this band. I don't know what part he plays a part in, but I've heard some of his solo album, and that was pretty interesting. This one might end. This one will probably be the most one of the more interesting picks that I have. Um, so as some of you may know, I like the Pixies a lot. I haven't really got any of their albums just yet, even though that repress of Sofa Rosa and Come On Pilgrim that interests me a lot. And I know a few people in the VC that are very interested in the Pixies as well. So I think this might interest you. It's one of their EPs from 2013 when they were like, coming back as a band and like releasing a few EPs before Indie Cindy, I think it was. And this is the one which includes Bag Boy, Silvaneo, Ring the Bell, and Jamie Bravo. I don't mind this EP. I think their modern stuff, is quite underrated in my opinion. Gets a lot of unjustified hate, as I find. Quite an interesting insight. I do like it. And the vinyl is just black. But yeah, I think Indie Cindy's an underrated album. It's pretty good, but Head Carry is a great album. Much better. That was their most recent one, I think. I prefer it, but Indie Cindy's still good too. And yeah, this EP is a good collection of songs. I would recommend it. There's a couple of EPs from this time. I think there's like 3 overall. There was another one in the record shop, but I thought about getting this one because this one has like the most consistent in terms of like quality. All right, let's get on to the 12 inches then. So we got a lot to get through for 12 inches. So I'll start off like the one I recently the one that I have had the longest, and that's Flock of Seagulls with A Flock of Seagulls. The self-titled album. This is a new wave British band. They're really mainly one-hit wonders, but with like the song Iran. But this album's underrated as well. It's a very interesting collection of songs, and it has this like space sci-fi theme to it that's pretty engaging. It keeps the album unique, I must say. Although I like songs like Messages and Iran, the song Space Age Love Song is wonderful. Probably one of the best new wave songs. Period. Fantastic song. But yeah, great debut album. Shame they didn't really like get any better. Unfortunately, they kind of fell off after this, but don't write them off completely. This is a good album. Alright. Another class, and this is a new wave band which is more well known. Soft Cell with Non-Stop Erotic Cabaret. This is a pretty unique new wave album in the fact of how it is quite dark in some cases. It delves into a lot of themes relating to sex and as the title would imply, and some more interesting themes as well. But the highlights are frustration. I think some of them off my head. CD films and Say Hello Wave Goodbye. Their famous cover of Tainted Love is also on this album too. But I know that some of you are probably aware of that. This is a very famous album from that genre. And I think some of their other albums as well, like The Art of Falling Apart, is quite underrated. Even that one in 2002, I actually enjoy some of the songs. Although that one is a bit hit or miss, admittedly. But alright. If I can get this back in, then we can continue. I did. Alright. Let's get on with let's get on with probably an album which I have been wanting on vinyl for such a long time. And I am happy it's been repressed. It's not a perfect repress, admittedly, but I'm glad I own it on vinyl now. Gorillaz Demon Days. You already know it's my favourite band of all time. What more can I say, really? It's one of the most essential albums of the 2000s. In terms of alternative rock and hip-hop even. This album does have quite a few hip-hop influences here and there, and some artists like, De La Soul, MF Doom, and a few others. Well, maybe not my favourite Gorillaz album, because Plastic Beach I still prefer, but this is definitely second. Because, well, it's flipping Demon Days. I mean, non-stop after non-stop, great track. Last Living Souls, Own Green World, Feel Good Inc., El Manana, November Has Come, Don't Get Lost in Heaven, Demon Days, Every Planet We Reach Is Dead. I know that's not in order. Kids with Guns, Dare, All Alone even I like. Yeah, the inserts are like the band's faces, basically the same thing you see on the front cover. I quite like the labels though. They've kept it towards the. They kept it very similar to the original pressing of around 2005 when the album did come out. Now, if you're a Gorillaz fan, you're probably aware of the fact that like this album has had quite a notorious history on vinyl. Like, it's never really like it was sold in limited quantities, and it's been out of press for such a long time. And really, it was until around 2016 or last year where it got repressed on vinyl, on red vinyl, on Vinyl Me Please, and then I expect that eventually got it repressed commercially. Well, at least I think commercially. I mean, for all I know, this could just end up going up in value again. But for now, it's mine, and I'm glad I finally have an album that's one of my favourites of all time. Speaking of very important albums, I got 2 MGMT albums for my birthday. One is their most significant. That's Oracular Spectacular. Very fantastic debut. And I mentioned in my video that I was more or less in love with the first half, and in the second half I only really liked. The second half's starting to grow on me a bit more now. Because tracks like Future Reflections and The Handshake are really big favourites of mine now, I must say. And Moon's Birds and Monsters I like as well. I guess the only really song that doesn't really do it for me is Pieces of What, but that's about it. This album is very, very consistent. Got trippy visual, and probably some of the lyrics you just can't really read on this for some reason. Well, actually no, it's because they're so small and like the photo is just doesn't really complement it that well. But fantastic album, and another really big essential album of the 2000s as well. Just like Demon Days, although maybe not in the same regard in terms of importance. But listen to it. Just listen to it. Great psychedelic album. And from their oldest, we move on to their latest with Little Dark Age. Favourite album of this year. I've very much decided that the Now isn't as good as this. But I'm not gonna show the vinyl because I do want to get this video wrapped over fast. But fantastic album. Not Days I Got Away. One Thing Left to Try is probably my favourite from this album. Either that or When You Die. Or She Works Out Too Much. Alright, and another album that hasn't been repressed in a very long time and has gone up in value. Killers Day and Age. Second favourite Killers album of all time. And the first being Soundstown. But I'm probably one of the few people that thinks this is better than Hot Fuzz. I don't know, this is just a very important album to me. It's the first album I ever heard fully, back around 2008, when this album was released, and it's very much the album that not got me into music. There was obviously songs before that I've heard and all that, but, this is one of the few projects that got me interested, and it's very, very significant to me. Comes from a poster as well. I should mention that. It's the album cover and then the single art for the songs Spaceman, Human, The World We Live In, and Dustland Fairy Tale. Alright, and now we got the final album that I need to show, and it's Manic Street Preachers related. It's Generation Terrorists. Not the best, I'll admit that. It's flawed, but it's still a great album in my opinion. I mean, Slash and Burn, NatWest, Lloyd's, Barclays. Is that how? Is that it? No, NatWest, Barclays, Midlands, Lloyd's. That's what it is. Um, and one of the best songs ever. Yeah, one of the best songs I've ever heard. Motorcycle Emptiness. Yeah, the most popular song, but I don't care. Just perfection. But this comes on black vinyl in a black sheet. And very interestingly, it also comes with a booklet. I mean, this is the 20th anniversary version, but I do quite like the look at some of these photos. But as I've mentioned with G. Edwards earlier, I do have some like issues listening to this because, especially if I listen to the lyrics, it's a very, very, very dark listen. It's a very interesting outlook on situations with life and of sorts, similar things to that. But that no matter, this album gets dark, but trust me, it isn't the Holy Bible from the Manic Street Preachers. The final album they did with Richie Edwards before he unfortunately disappeared. That album is the bleakest thing I've ever heard. It's a very stressful listen and a very unwarranted hearing. No, not unwarranted. That's not like the right use of vocabulary I'm using. But yeah, it ain't pleasant. That's all I'm gonna say. Oh Christ! I forgot. There's actually 2 releases that I forgot to show. Oh, I'll go through this really quick. Flaming Lips debut album. Here it is. Fantastic debut album. With You is my favourite song, but Unplugged, She Is Death, Jesus Shooting Herring, also fantastic tracks. This is recently repressed. This is from 2018. Aphex Twin Collapse EP. His most recent EP, and very much a return to form. I wasn't really too, aside from Cyro, I'm not really too interested in like a lot of his latest projects. I think they're kind of underwhelming in my opinion. But this EP is brought back my interest. It's a great EP. And yeah, that's it. I am sorry if I'm rushing through this a little bit, but I got things to do and all that. But I'm glad I got a video out. I'll be back soon, I promise that. And I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.